I have never experienced this thing before in my life. And as the hours and as the days went by, I could hear those chants more and more distinct, to the point where I started learning them. And one of them was and I could hear like a man chanting in a calm kind of voice. Maybe one man or a few men, not like with the other Icaro of hundreds of men. And as the time went by, and I would like listen and try to, I feel I started to understand. Yo te quiero, madre coca. Wow! To my surprise, that Icaro was chanted, at least partly, in Spanish, which I couldn't understand. How is it possible that I hear plant songs in Spanish? Didn't make sense to me, but it was obvious. I could hear Yo te quiero, madre coca. It goes and chant. Then like, Yo te quiero, luna llena. Yo te quiero, madre coca is I want you or I love you. Madre coca is the plant of coca. And yo te quiero, luna llena. I want you, the full moon. And it went on and on and on and on, like never ending mantra, the same kind of. And as I'm saying, as the time went by, and I would hear more and more distinctly, and this made me learn, that that Icaro. And okay, my perception of time had started to change as well, especially when the thing with Exorcism happened. This is when things started to be really intense. And after the Exorcism, that night was the most crazy night of my life. That was the third night that I hadn't slept for a second. And I was in that house, and strange things started to happen. I could very distinctly hear those Icaros, very loud, very powerful, but I was actually enjoying them. At the same time, it was a night, and strange and not very nice things started to happen. I started to hear other sounds. Again, I'm searching for the word, and I still like spirit sounds. Okay, so apart from those Icaros I could hear, I started to hear that outside of my house there are things happening. There are like people talking, and there are like things happening outside. Like there is a gathering or some kind of fiesta, some kind of like people are gathering and having conflicts and like almost like shouting, and that energy wasn't nice. That was like more like, that wasn't nice. I didn't want to go out and check out what it is, because it was like right outside the house. Even before that, also strange things started to happen. Rats started running around the house or inside the house, and well, I'm not afraid of rats. However, those rats, and with my perceptions that I was having, it felt like indeed like these are like really dark, kind of frightening beings, and I felt the energy, a low energy, a frightening energy. And when that would make me, I was shivering from, from because I knew it was dangerous. I was afraid. But I would concentrate on me, on my mantras, on my prayers. But at the same time, being in the house, being on the second floor of that house, in the bed under the mosquito net, I could hear many things. I could hear many sounds. I could hear those Icaros that I have chanted to you already. I could hear them on and on, never ending, never stopping. They would change places. Sometimes they would be more loud, sometimes less loud. The place from I can hear it was also changing. Then, as I'm saying, I started to hear it outside my freaking house. There is a gathering of some spirits, and I could hear that they are quarreling, like having some conflicts, and like it was like some conflict is brewing up there. I don't want to get out. I could hear also on the other side of the house, I could hear one person, one guy walking and talking something to himself or singing something also. It was crazy. I could hear spirit world, different distinct spirits. However, at this time it was more negative. It wasn't nice. As I'm saying, as I was hearing those sounds, I felt shivers running down my body. Now I knew this is Chiric Sanango experience. This is intense. I drank 5 times the dose I was supposed to drink. No wonder. Maybe that wasn't a good thing. But I knew that I hear spirit world. This is not physical world. If I go out, I can probably go out and these spirits probably cannot do anything to me physically. But I have to maintain myself really concentrated. Because if I become afraid, I can lose my mind. I can go crazy. Okay? Because I knew with my logical mind, I knew that all of those things which I could so distinctly hear, as there were real men and women outside my house talking, I could hear somewhere further away somebody shouting, somebody. I was aware that this is spirit world. I can probably go out but I knew this would be a challenging experience because I would have to be very concentrated to not to become afraid, to not to freak out, because if I freak out, that can be very dangerous. That was the 3rd night I hadn't slept at all. I was sitting in my bed. I was concentrating on my masters. I was concentrating on love. I was concentrating on mantras. I was chanting my Om, and I was listening to those Icaros which I liked, like this hey hey hey. I was listening to those, and as I was sitting in that bed under that hammock, I felt again my eyes becoming like really heavy. Really something is going on with my eyes. Another being in my eyes. And I felt, oh no, not again. It's again. But okay, this is my opportunity. Another exorcism coming. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I'm ready. Let's do this. So I picked up the mirror and started looking at my eyes. Ooh.